Everybody, this is Carlos Solis, owner and founder of Ridgepoint Medical Pharmacy and the new Your Lifestyle RX. One of the most important things that I want to share with you this morning is you. And, the discovery process that we all have to go through is a scary one. We all have to sometimes dig deep within ourselves to kind of discover who we are. And during that discovery, obviously, one of the goals that I have with each one of you is to help build your all's confidence. And one of the things I want to share with you is, and a very important thing, is that I want to give you everything that I know, that I've learned over my years of experience, that's helped me have what I have today. And one of the things that you guys need to learn is that I'm willing to give you this, but you have to be willing to accept it. And the only way you're going to continue to build confidence is that you take the stories, you take the things that I share with you, and then you think about them and reflect upon them during the day, when you're at sleep, when you're going to bed, or when you're just not doing anything really. Think back on some of the stuff that's happened to you while you've been here at Ridgepoint Medical Pharmacy. Listen and review some of the things that we've discussed, and try to, on a daily basis, build on those things. Doubts and fear will come in no matter who you are, no matter what level you've achieved of success. The President of the United States has fears and doubts. Even if he has a whole team of experts in the same room with him to discuss whatever situation, he still has his doubts. He still has his own personal fears. And most importantly, what's in our future? What are we going to be doing so that we can change what we've got today? And one of the things I've talked about before is taking the baby steps. Taking steps every single day to lead us to somewhere. And we have to do things on what? On purpose, right? A lot of times we anticipate the worst that something may bring, whatever opportunity falls in our lap. The first thing we're thinking about is, okay, if I start doing these things in order to make this happen, I just know it's not going to work. And I've done this before, and it's led to rejection, or it's led to frustration, and I don't want to do it again. And so you give up on another potential opportunity. One of the things I want to share with you today is, what's the worst thing that can happen if you take everything that I'm sharing with you and you try to implement it? What's the worst thing that can happen? That nothing happens? That you try for 6 months and you get a little bit out of it, or you get nothing out of it? Is that the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen if you take no action at all? Does it end up being the same thing? If you take no action and nothing happens, or you take some kind of action and maybe hopefully something will happen, which are the two scenarios you really want to experience? Many times, either childhood experiences, personal experiences have led us to what? To anticipate the worst. Especially if we've been experiencing most recently in our lives a lot of bad things that have been happening. A lot of times, if we haven't built a strong foundation, pain, frustration, the anticipation of things not going well will give us the doubts that will prevent us from taking any action. Let me tell you what's even worse: having the fear. Doubt's one thing. Not too sure, I'm not really sure whether I want to do that. But being fearful can actually lead you to taking steps that are going to be counterproductive. That fear that you have may actually take you further away from what you want to achieve in life. Because fear oftentimes leads us to what? Taking steps that are actually going to hurt us more than if we had taken the step to take on that opportunity that was brought to us. I know, I've experienced it. And one of the hardest things for me to understand myself, as I'm learning myself as your health coach, is being patient. Being patient with the process. And trying to understand the circumstances as they happen on a daily basis. Because I too experience hurt and frustration when I try to implement something and it doesn't work. I spent a lot of time in preparation for this morning's conversation. I didn't just wake up this morning and all of a sudden had something to discuss. I've been thinking long and hard about what I wanted to share with you guys this morning. I prepared for what I was going to do on purpose this morning. It didn't happen by accident. I actually had to prepare. And one of the things that's really scary for me is that I make myself vulnerable every single time that I speak before you. Sometimes I express frustration, sometimes I express a lot of enthusiasm, and sometimes I actually express some of my pain and my fears, and my emotions actually come out. And I've expressed, emotions of a lot of anxiety, and I've expressed it in manners where tears have come from my eyes, and I've had difficulty in speaking with you guys because I let myself be vulnerable. How many of you here in this room are willing to let yourself be vulnerable for a moment and take the courage to possibly get rejected? Because when I'm up here speaking every single day, I experience, trust me, the potential for each one of you here in this room to reject me and not to accept some of the things that I've shared with you guys. And the pain for me is, what do I need to change within myself to get you guys to be more open to some of the very things so that you can discover who you are and become the persons that you really want to be? Because I'm every single day working on myself as I teach you guys. And I learn as much from you as I hope you learn from me. Because as I'm learning and I'm sharing with you guys, it's not just this, one-way street for me. When I get feedback from you guys, it means a lot to me. When someone comes to me and says, I want to help you, trust me, for me that's a very meaningful expression. It means that that person hopefully has heard something in my conversations with the team that wants them to believe in what I'm trying to build here at Ridgepoint Medical Pharmacy. And what I need to hear more of is I need help. Every single time I'm doing these presentations, I'm actually asking for each one of you guys to help me. To help you as well. It's not a one-way street for me. As your mentor, I have my own mentors. I have my own health coach that I listen to. Like I said before, I'm going to Los Angeles here in the next week, and I'm going to have to confront my mentor, my health coach, and be willing to let her know that I haven't done everything that she's asked me to do. And that's a painful thing for me to experience next week. It would be easy for me to say, well, you know what, I'm not feeling too good this week. I'm not going to go to Los Angeles, and just call her up and say, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well. And not go to Los Angeles. And lose out on the opportunity of the things that I know I'm going to learn when I'm there. So, I have my doubts about going to Los Angeles. I've got my definite fears about what I know I'm going to encounter there. But what's the worst thing that can happen? She's going to get mad at me. She's going to be disappointed in me. And even though I know those things will happen, I know one more thing that's more important than that, is that she'll still come back and say, okay, let's get up and let's do this again. Get out there and build your website, work on your email contact list, work on building your network, work on building the community that we've been talking about. Get your people who work for you to truly understand that this is not a team that can only rely on the coach. It's a team that relies on the players as well to do their individual respective roles to help you make this a thing of reality here at Ridgepoint. If I were to say right now, is your Lifestyle RX a success? And if I measure that based on the number of clients that I have, what would I have to say? If I said that right now your Lifestyle RX should have 20 clients, and I have 0, then based on that definition of success, I'd be a failure. But instead, if I use a different way of measuring your Lifestyle RX and saying, you know what, your Lifestyle RX is a success because I know I'm touching myself. I know I've made some personal changes over the last 6 months that have helped improve me. And I've gotten feedback from my team that I know I've helped them. And I have people who have called me, who have told me that I've been an inspiration to them because just last night, my brother calls me out of the blues. And we started talking. He goes, no offense for those of you who understand Spanish out there in the community, but he said, Oye, cabrón, I just wanted to let you know that you inspired me to lose weight. He says, I saw you during Christmas. He goes, I know that if you can do that and look as good as you did during our family get-together, he goes, I want to do the same for myself. I didn't say anything to him in the last 6 months. But he saw me and he's heard me talk, with the family members, and he wants to have some of that. I didn't have to speak to him about what I've been doing here at Ridgepoint Medical Pharmacy. He's seeing what is possible for himself through me. I have my issues myself, guys, right? I've talked to you about my personal struggles with maintaining this physique that I now have, and that I have to do things on purpose every single day to get to where I'm at. Again, my whole goal today is really more about you than it is about me. What can I do to help each one of you discover who you are? And build on that through the discovery process, which will help build your confidence. But understanding that there will be doubts, and there will definitely be fears in that process. And always keeping in mind is, what's the worst thing that can happen if I accept some of these opportunities being presented to me? What's the worst that can happen? And if you think about it, some of the worst things that can happen is rejection, didn't work, I did this for 6 months and I'm still where I'm at today. But if you look at what you've learned in the process, that's where you learn to discover who you are. Maybe losing 50 pounds and you didn't achieve it really wasn't what made you discover who you are. Maybe what you discovered in only losing 10 pounds was that you could do something to make a difference for yourself. That you're now healthier, more fit. You have a better state of mind every day that you come to work. That you're dealing with your children differently. That you see that there's hope in life. That there is an opportunity for me to create a difference, not only for myself, but for those around me. Even if my goal had been to lose 50 pounds, I learned a lot of other things through that experience. And what if you get into an opportunity that led to hurt or to frustration? Right? Because that can actually happen. Trust me, I have been in situations right now with your Lifestyle RX that's led for me to have personal hurt and personal frustrations in this growth process for me. And then I have to go back and think about what I've learned because of that pain that I experienced. And say, okay, am I going to be a warrior and continue to fight this battle? Or am I just going to retreat and give up on my dreams and my hopes because of some hurt or some pain that I experienced along the way? So my big message for you is, let me help you discover who you are. I can't do that unless you guys ask for help. And I can't do that if you're not putting into place some of the very things that I talk about all the time. I'm giving you resources in the past. I've put a computer in the back room that if you wanted to use the internet to get online and listen to some of the very lectures that I listen to that help inspire me, I can do that again. I know it hasn't been done in a while. I was really proud of the ones who would get on there during the lunch period rather than being there, discussing a lot of fun stuff. Take the time to commit to learning some serious stuff. And it takes commitment. It takes sacrificing. What are you all been willing to give up? Some of your free time so that you can become stronger and more successful, have more joy. That's what I want for you guys. I want you to have everything that I have, and maybe you can exceed your own expectations and have even more. Maybe you'll someday be here talking instead of me talking. And I'll be sitting in one of those chairs, listening to what you're going to be teaching me, as opposed to me standing here trying to teach you guys. That would be, for me, a very satisfying goal, is to have you guys speaking to me as the new health coach for Ridgepoint Medical Pharmacy and as part of your Lifestyle RX. So guys, let's discover who you are. Let's move forward with the discovery process. Let's continue to build on that confidence. And every single day, take a step to move forward.